Luka is now a Laker. It shocked the world this weekend, but what does it mean for the Denver Nuggets? We need to figure that out right now. All right, hoops heads. Yeah, it was the tweet heard around the world on Saturday night, right? They're no longer Woj Bombs because he's the general manager of St. Bonaventure for some reason. So it was what do we call it? A sham slam, a sham blast. I don't know. That doesn't have the same ring to it. But nonetheless, Shams had the tweet. We all thought it was fake. Luka to Los Angeles. Are you kidding me? And then you see what the trade was actually for. And I was even more upset. So what does all of that mean for our beloved Denver Nuggets and the Serbian basketball god that is Nikola Jokic? Well, we're going to get into all of it right here on Dover on Denver. So let's go back to Saturday night to where this all started. Saturday night, you're all kind of just kicking it at home, right? It's the end of the night. So perhaps you're in bed, you're winding down, watching a movie, late night snack before bed, whatever you're doing. And you get the bomb, the tweet from Shams that it's real. It was so unbelievable that I wasn't the only one. My man Matthew's not the only one. You weren't the only one. Other NBA reporters with the blue check next to their name and a lot of followers on their account also said, hold up, is this for real? Let me send a couple of texts before I run with this, only to get the tweet then a couple of minutes later from Shams in all caps, this is real. It has not, I have not been hacked. It's the real deal. So Luka Doncic, a five-time All-Star, a five-time All-NBA player, a Rookie of the Year, a guy that is second right now all-time in points per game at 25 years old. He is third all-time in points per game and second all-time in points per game in the playoffs, by the way. Sixth all-time in playoff triple-doubles. Seventh all-time in just straight-up triple-doubles. That guy, that dude that has all of that next to his name gets traded for 31-year-old made out of Charmin toilet paper Anthony Davis and Max Christie. Go ahead, take a second to Google Max Christie. Nobody knows who that is. And Max Christie plus a first-round draft pick that's in 4 years from right now. Luka Doncic was traded for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a draft pick that will be in 2029. What the heck is going on with the Dallas Mavericks? Nico Harrison is the general manager of the Dallas Mavericks, a name I'm sure you've seen all over social media, or if you have any Dallas Mavericks fans in your life, they've probably said a lot of F words and then his name to follow it. Nico Harrison made the trade. And as soon as the trade was done, you saw big-time names like Tim McMahon of ESPN, or as I like to say, ESPN, saying, oh, well, the reason Dallas did this is because Luka's about to be in line for a contract, a max contract that's going to pay him well north of $60 million a year. Again, folks, teach your kids how to shoot and dribble a basketball, all right? That's what the stars are getting paid in this league now. And the word out of Dallas is that they were nervous about doing so. The dude has brought you to 2 Western Conference finals. The dude dragged your team to the NBA finals a year ago. And they ran into the Celtics and obviously lost that game, but you're worried about what Luka is. All right. Maybe you're worried that he's a little chubby, right? When he comes into camp and uses the season to get ready rather than the off season to be ready for the regular season. I can understand that. There's some reports out there that he likes to booze it up a little bit and he likes his beer a little bit more than he does the weight room. I don't know. There's probably about 90% of 25-year-old star athletes that feel that way. In fact, you want me to localize it for you? Let's go back to top of my head, probably 2017. The great Nikola Jokic, who we all love, the multiple-time MVP, the NBA champion, the NBA Finals MVP. There was questions about his weight too. It wasn't alcohol related, so that's probably a little bit better for the Nuggets side of things. But you know what he did? He eliminated Coca-Cola. He was going Rod Farver on us and drinking a liter of cola every day. I'm not even kidding. That's what Nikola was doing. He ended it, took the job a little bit more serious, and now he is who he is. Will Luka be that? I'm not here to tell you 100% he will, but I would imagine as we all grow up, he'll grow up and start to take his job a little bit more serious. But the Mavericks weren't willing to take that risk or make that bet, so they shipped him out of town. I just can't believe it that Nico Harrison was only talking to Rob Pelinka How does the NBA not think that's sketchy? I'm not Mr. Tinfoil Hat guy all the time. I like to play the game from time to time, but how do you only talk to one team? And then you want to talk about not having any leverage. Well, what were we supposed to do? You know what you're supposed to do, Nico Harrison? Use your phone and call 3130, I guess, because you already talked to the Lakers, other markets. You were negotiating against yourself. And Rob Pelinka punked you. Rob Pelinka owns you. Another little local tie. Remember when the Avalanche were making all those trades under Super Joe? And Joe Sakic was like, yo, if Joe's calling your phone, don't answer because he's going to embarrass you. That's what Rob Pelinka just did to Nico Harrison. Rob Pelinka did to the Dallas Mavericks what Joe Sakic used to do to NHL teams when he was pulling the strings and calling the shots down there at Ball Arena for the Colorado Avalanche. Nico Harrison, Rob Pelinka is your daddy. The Denver Nuggets are the father of the Lakers, and now Rob Pelinka is the father of Nico Harrison. So it's just a horrible, horrible trade. Nico's going to fall on the sword for this, but Dallas ownership, who, by the way, it's not Mark Cuban. You know, a lot of you are going, what the heck is Mark Cuban doing? He got out a couple of years ago. He's no longer majority owned. He still has some stake in the team, but he doesn't get to call these shots anymore. So new ownership, they were not interested in playing a star player that might come in a little overweight, that likes to do a little boozing from time to time, north of $60 million. So ownership has to be held accountable in this as well. But like I said to start, this is Dallas' problem, right? Sucks to be you, Dallas. Now you have Anthony Davis, Daniel Gafford, and Derek Lively, who are bigs, and that might work in the postseason. But who's going to score for you? Is Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis going to score 50 every single night? Because outside of those guys, I don't know who gets you buckets up there. PJ Washington's a solid player, and he didn't have to go anywhere either. But they're going to struggle to score points. So what does this mean for the Denver Nuggets? Right? Why do we care so much out of just the shock factor that is Luka being a Laker? All right, well, the Nuggets championship window is open. I think we would all agree upon that. How open is the debate to be had? And did this trade slam it shut, close it a little bit more, keep it just as open, or open it even more? I'd love to know your answer, and I'll circle back and find them in the comments here on the YouTube page. So make sure you're commenting, and we'll have a conversation on that. I don't think that the window opened anymore, right? A rival, and in fact, a team that, you know, the old if the playoffs started today conversation, guess who'd play the Nuggets? Luka and the Lakers in round one. It'd be the 4-5 matchup. And Saturday afternoon at about 2:00, I thought, yeah, the Nuggets are the daddy of the Lakers. They'll sweep them, or a gentleman's sweep 4-1, and we'll move on and go into the second round. I don't feel that way today. The Nuggets fans, I'm sure you don't feel that way today. So what it means to me for the Denver Nuggets is they can't sit on their hands. You can't just sit back and go, oh, Calvin Booth, the GM upstairs, drafted these guys, so Coach Malone's going to develop them. No. That can't be the case anymore. You have to strike while the iron is hot. Now, what can the Nuggets do this week? I'll tell you this on Wednesday. We're going to talk a whole lot about that right here on Dover on Denver. But a quick little spoiler, they can't do a lot because Calvin Booth tied their dang hands behind their back with some of the contracts that he has given out up to this point. But as far as like Lakers, we know who OKC is. And as I look at the standings in the Western Conference, OKC, Memphis, Houston, Denver, and then there are those Lakers. All right, so did the Lakers get better than the Nuggets with this trade? For this year, I'm going to say no. For this year, you got to figure it out. How do Luka and LeBron play at the same time? There's only one basketball, right? Both of them are primary ball handlers that need the ball in their hand to facilitate or to operate in isolation and get buckets. So this year, the Lakers will make the playoffs, and there'll be a story that we'll get sick of hearing about because every national outlet won't shut up about it. But this year, they're not the big threat that I think they believe they are. Next year, however, as Stephen A would say, next year, they're a big threat. They're a true threat, even with LeBron James at 41 years old. They still have Dalton Connect, Thornton, Colorado kid, right? Prairie View High School. That dude's going to be a player in this league. Dude that can shoot, that can create his own shot, and now you have Luka Doncic to play off of. So think about that moving forward. The Lakers are going to be led by Luka with probably a couple of years away, but Dalton Connect could be playing Robin to Luka's Batman here in a couple of years. So right now, the Nuggets are still better than the Lakers. I believe they're better than the Rockets, despite what the standings say. I think they're better than the Grizzlies because I can't trust Ja Morant. OKC? I don't know. My answer might change given the day of the week, but when it comes to the postseason, maybe I'll still trust the Nuggets more than the Clippers. So as of today, I don't think it did a ton to the Denver Nuggets championship window. They're still in it. They can still win them. They're still expected to win them as long as Nikola Jokic is playing for the Denver Nuggets, but it's shortened that window. Let's say that the Denver Nuggets championship window was open until 2030. That puts Nikola Jokic right around 35 years old. If I believe that before Saturday, and I did, I think that now goes to about 2028. That means the Denver Nuggets have 3 more seasons to win multiple championships, or they waste the era of Nikola Jokic. Can they do that? Only time will tell. This has been Dover on Denver, and now I'm done.